Hey everyone, welcome back to the CB Camper channel. My name is Jim Thomas. My wife Lynn and I have been campers ever since way back in 1981 when we got married and spent 30 days on a cross-country trip in a pop-up camper from Massachusetts all the way to California. And along the way we've learned a few things that we want to share to help make your camping experience even better. A while back I posted a video of 10 ways that you can make your camper RV better or make it your own, and it's the most watched video that I've ever posted to YouTube. And thank you to all of you who watched that and shared it and subscribed and liked it. It's really helping build my channel because I'm not sponsored in any way. Any of the things that I'll show you in my videos are things that I bought and paid for with my own money, and we only show you stuff that works for us and think maybe it'll work for you. So after that 10 ways, which was really 12 ways if you actually counted in that video, my wife said, you left a bunch of stuff out. And I'm like, well, what? And she came up with another list. And so today you get 7 more ways that you can improve your camping experience and or make your camper your own. So we've got 4 inside, 3 inside. Let's get started. Well, today we're going to start in the wet bay. And in our wet bay is a couple of things that really makes camping better for us. And let me show you. We have 2 things right here. This is where the water comes in from the connection over next to the camper, and it goes through a hose. Make sure you have a hose that's rated to carry drinking water, and then it comes up, and before it connects in, there's a couple things that happen. One, I've got a quick disconnect fitting here, which makes putting the hose on and taking the hose off so much quicker, and I don't have to worry about trying to get it tight enough it doesn't leak. And then right after that, we've got a water pressure regulator. Water pressure regulators are critical because you never know what the water pressure is going to be on a campground that you get to. Here today the water pressure is about 46 psi. That's not bad. Some days it's up closer to 60 and some days it's a little lower than that. So what this does is it gives you constant pressure going into your camper without it being too much, which is really important. If you've had too much water pressure in your camper and started getting leaks in places where you didn't normally have leaks, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And I would just say also on the outlet of that, in this elbow, so that if you put stuff straight out from here, you put strain on it. And so the elbow makes stuff go straight down, which is the way it naturally wants to go anyway. And then right here we've also got a shutoff. So if you want to shut off the water going into the camper, you of course can do it over here at the little pedestal where the water connects, or we also have a disconnect right here right before it goes into the camper, and you just turn that 90 degrees and then the water's off. These pressure regulators are great because they're adjustable. You can stick a screwdriver in here and turn it back and forth to get to whatever the desired pressure it is that you want inside your camper. I normally run about 45 psi. That's enough to get a decent shower without it being too much. All right, so there's number 1. Quick disconnect, water pressure regulator. Make sure you get one with a gauge. The ones that just look like a little straight through thing are just restrictors and not really regulators. And then a disconnect. All these things are available right on Amazon. Nice and easy to find, nice and easy to install. The whole thing take you 10 minutes to put on, and it will keep you from having leaks in your camper down the road. Now the other really fun part about camping, well, maybe not, is when you have to do stuff down here. If you're a camper, you know what I'm talking about. And so when you want to do stuff down there, everybody always says, you should wear gloves, you should be careful, you should, don't get stuff on your hands. And well, sometimes I would remember that and sometimes I didn't, until I did this. Now these are not very expensive nitrile gloves. You can get them at Harbor Freight. A box of them is $7 or something. But what really made this work was when I found this holder that I installed in my wet bay so that the gloves are always right there. So when I come to do something in my wet bay, when I get ready to dump or flush tanks or do any sort of connections, here's the gloves right there. A box of 100 gloves, $7 or $8. This puts them always where you want them, not hidden in here somewhere where I couldn't always find them when I wanted to. Because you should always wear these when you're doing anything, particularly with the dirty gray black side of your water system. All right, that's number 2. Let's go find number 3. If you've ever followed a tractor trailer down the interstate at night, and I'm sure we all have, you notice that even if their lights weren't working, they have this special reflective tape that runs across where their bumper is and also on the sides of the trailer so that you can see them at night no matter what. That stuff is great. And I've followed campers down the highway before where somebody didn't have their plug all the way in, or they had a problem with a fuse, they had no lights in their camper, and man, that is not a safe thing to rush up on highway speeds because you may not stop in time. So here's a trick number 3, tip number 3. You can buy those rolls of tape that the truck uses. They're DOT approved tape. You can buy a roll of it on Amazon for less than 10 bucks, and then you can install it on your camper, which is exactly what I did. I put a strip there on the receiver, and then I put another strip there. And let me tell you something, they don't look like much, but at night, oh my gosh, do they reflect the light, and do you really get seen whether your lights up here are working or not. So this is a safety thing. It doesn't really make your camper any more pleasurable to live in, but I would just tell you that for us, it's a no-brainer because it makes just camping and driving at night, which I don't like to do anyway, but sometimes you have to, that much safer. But wait, that's not the only place I use it. Let me show you this. If you're like us, you don't spend every night in a campground. Sometimes you do other things. We stay in Cracker Barrels where it's appropriate to do that and you have permission and they allow it. That's a great place to stay. Maybe you spend an overnight in a rest area or a truck stop or some other place that's not in a campground site. Well, when you do that, especially like in a truck stop or even the Cracker Barrel, you don't always have all the room that you want. And our steps these days in campers are these big fold-out things that stick out at least 3 feet away from your camper. And when you're trying to squeeze into a site or a slot to park that's only 1 lane wide, it's going to be right on the edge, even if you scoot your camper over to the other side. So that tape that we put on the back bumper, I also put on both sides of these steps. And that way, if you're in a truck stop and you're in a site and you have to have the steps down or you can't get inside your camper, it's one of the downsides of these things. When somebody pulls in next to you into the site, he is going to see your steps sticking out because that tape lights up like crazy at night. And so on both sides of the steps, I put that tape. Now, we're not always going to have all the slides out, depending upon where we're camping for overnight free camping. But no matter where it is, if those steps are out and somebody tries to pull in next to us, they're going to see them before they hit them. At least that's the goal. All right, let's go to number 4. All right, number 4. Now, maybe you're a person who is super coordinated and always very aware of their surroundings and never bangs into stuff. That's not me. And if you've been around campers with slides, especially bedroom slides that are up high, depending on where you park, sometimes those slides are going to be in a place where it's pretty easy to whack your head. Where I am now, it's not a huge deal because the site slopes, and so this is actually up above head height. But if you've ever whacked your head on one of these corners, you won't forget that very soon because that's sharp and hard and it hurts. So you go to the dollar store, you get a pool floaty, you cut it, put a groove in it, and then you notch it out right here, and then guess what? That'll go slip right on there and right on there. And man, you'd much rather bang your head on that than that bare corner. So I just made 2 of those, one here and one down here. And can I just tell you that I've tried these out, like literally, and these are a good thing. So there's a tip for less than $1. Save a scar on the top of your head, cut up a dollar pool floaty, put them on the corners of your slide, and let that save you a little pain and distress. Okay, that's number 4. I got 3 more inside. Let's go check them out. One of the things I love about having a fifth wheel, and it applies to lots of other campers too, is that you get lots of storage. I mean, I get all that up there, and well, I think I took you on kind of a tour last time I was here in the pantry, and then all of that's more storage there, more storage there. Now, having all that storage is great. Keeping those things in there where they belong when you're going down the road, that's the harder part. Because I have to tell you, on my trip down here to Florida, I hit some roads in some places, I'm talking about South Carolina, where the pavement was terrible, and I was worried about damaging the suspension on the trailer and or blowing a tire because the holes were so bad. And when I got here, I found that some of these weren't closed anymore, and all that stuff had spilled out, well, you know, everywhere. And so no matter how hard you try to adjust these doors and these little latches and try to make them work as best you can, it's still not super tight closed. So what do you do about that? Well, let me introduce you to my little friend called Rapid Storage Straps. Again, this is available on Amazon. There's just a few bucks for a whole roll of it. And what you do with it is really simple. You take a piece. Give me a second here. And I don't have enough hands for this. And I didn't set up my tripod, so you're just going to have to bear with that. Okay. So it's Velcro. And you just wrap it around itself. And you connect it. And guess what? This is not coming open. So for all of our cabinets that face either the front or the rear, the problem is much less pronounced with the side cabinets. But I do here and here, and then those upper cabinets in the back. I'm trying not to make you dizzy. I put the Velcro storage straps on those as well, and then they do not come open when you're going down the road. And you can't forget that you did it because they're kind of like a fluorescent blue. And so they go on super easy, they come off super easy, they're just Velcro. So I just cut some pieces of it about that long enough to go around and tie itself together, and ba-boom, cabinets stay closed on the road. Self-gripping rapid storage strap. They don't call it Velcro because that's a brand name, but that's just what it is. And one roll of this is enough to do everything that you would want to do in your camper, so that you don't end up with stuff all over the floor. Because we do silly things like, some of that stuff in there is glass. You know, there's glass in there, and it's not all plastic and, like, I don't know. We used to have just plastic stuff, but as Lynn has gotten older, she doesn't want to have plastic everythings. And so we have glass. And when the glass comes out of there and goes down here, the result is generally not good. All right, there's number 5, rapid storage straps to keep your cabinets closed when you're going down the road. Let's go find number 6. All right, we're back with number 6 in the bedroom. You know, Lynn and I both take our laptops with us when we go camping. And when you've been married as long as we have, we've come to recognize that there's times when you want to have a little bit of your own space. And when you're traveling in a metal box that's not that big, it's sometimes hard to do. And we both bring our laptops with us when we go camping, and so I can set my laptop up on the dining room table, and that works fine for me, but then Lynn's left with it in her lap, and she's sitting in the same room as me, and I can't watch those funny YouTube videos that while she's trying to do something else. So we really needed to find her own space that she could have a laptop. But, you know, there's not a lot of options here. You know, we're back out in the living room. There's no place to put a desk in there. But we did find a place here in the bedroom. Let me show you. So in our bedroom, we have this space in between the dresser and this front wall cabinet. It's about 28-30 inches wide. And there's a place for a TV up here. And maybe a place you could put a desk. Well, the problem though is that we've got this cabinet. And it's got washer dryer hookups in it, but beyond that we use it for, oh look, dirty laundry and a bunch of other stuff. And so we can't put a desk here permanently and lose access to the cabinet, so I found some hinges on Amazon, and I had a piece of solid hardwood left over from another project. I painted it black, installed the hinges on the wall, and here's Lynn's computer desk. This is sturdy. It's not going anywhere. And it's plenty thick and plenty strong, and it gives her a great space that's her own. We use one of the 4 chairs that go to our dinette, and she sets it here, and she's got her own space for her own laptop and her mouse and a pad of paper and whatever else she needs in order to do the work or the play that she wants to do. These hinges are super simple. You just push the little buttons, and it folds up back against the wall, and it's completely out of the way. Well, one of the issues with this spot was there wasn't any electricity down here, and so I tapped into the wires that went to the connection for the washer dryer hookup, and they added an outlet for her right here, and then also put an outlet strip in so that she had plenty of places to plug in. And then, I'm not sure if you can see this or not, but I notched the back of the table so that the wires can go down neatly to get plugged in. And now she has her own desk space in her own space where she can close the door, and I can sit out there and watch those goofy cat videos on YouTube and laugh, and I won't be bothered. At least not as much. And that's all you can hope for, right? All right, number 6. A desk. Nice and easy. Folds out of the way when you're not using it. Tip number 6. Let's go on to number 7. All right, now to number 7. Let me tell you about museum putty. This stuff is amazing. When I first found out about this, I told Lynn about it, and she was like, what? No, that can't be right. That doesn't work. Museum putty was originally designed for museums so that things on displays did not move, did not roll around, stayed put where they want them to stay put, but then the putty was removable later without any damage to either the thing that they were sticking or the thing that they stuck it to. We are using this stuff all over the place in the camper. Let me show you a couple of spots. This is a desk lamp, which is on top of our dresser right next to where Lynn's computer table is now. There's 3 little dots of museum putty underneath that. I think you can see that in the picture. And guess what? This does not move. It is there. And so when we're traveling down the road, we travel from, right now I'm in Florida after a trip down from New Hampshire. That lamp has been there the whole time and did not budge a bit. That's just one example of places that we use in museum putty. Let me show you a couple more. In my last video, I think I showed you this little corner table that I made out of some scrap wood and wine corks, of all things. Well, that stays there all the time. Going down the road, camping, wherever we're at, the bottle of wine, that's not held down because you want to be able to get to that. But here's this museum putty. It's amazing stuff. That sits there going down the road, 1,200 miles from New England to Florida, did not move, won't move, but when you want to take it off, it peels up and does not damage either surface. It's amazing stuff. So that's number 7, museum putty. I hope you made it this far. If you did, thank you very much. You can help my channel by liking, subscribing, leaving a comment. All of those things help more people see my channel. It's important to me just because I don't have any sponsorships. I'm not making money from anybody that's selling stuff. I don't have an Amazon page where you can go buy stuff that I get a commission on. This is just me and you and me trying to share some good ideas with you. So you can help me by doing those things. Like, comment, subscribe. They really help my channel. I appreciate it. Thank you for watching. There'll be another video for you to watch over here or maybe over here. I don't know. You can probably see it now, right? Look, there it is. Okay, thanks so much. Look forward to seeing you next video. Until then, take care. Happy camping. Hope to see you soon. Bye.